folks, welcome to another edition of Play Branson, where you get to know Branson's entertainers better. I'm Chris Meyer, and I'm here with Elaine Victoria. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Great to be here as always.
And so we have a great guest coming on the show today.
Yes, we have Taylor Granberry. She is the Master of Ceremonies over at Dolly Parton Stampede.
And she's got a really good story.
She does.
And
she is not from here, and she is an awesome girl. So
it'll be fun to talk to her. And you know, like Dolly Stampede, there are a lot of great family attractions here in Branson.
Yes.
And so do you have some favorites?
Well, I love Silver Dollar City.
Yes.
I'm going there very soon. All of the roller coasters, all of the shows combined into one.
It's a great theme park, you know, and I think for people that actually live in Branson, they don't realize sometimes how good it is when you compare it to all the theme parks in the country. Great shows, great food, great rides, and so they do a lot of special events out there.
In fact, I've been to Disney World at Christmas and Silver Dollar City at Christmas. And I love Disney World, don't get me wrong, but Silver Dollar City is prettier. It does have better lights. So just word to the wise.
So real quick, I'm going to do my dumb questions or things that make you go,
Yes. Okay? If I don't go, I'm going to be angry.
How do you throw away a garbage can?
Garbage can inception.
So they don't know that you almost have to put a sign out there, I think.
Really?
Why are highways built so close to the ground? That one's pretty dumb. Here we go. Why do hot dogs come 10 to a pack, but the buns only 8?
You know what? George Banks freaked out about that in Father of the Bride. Remember? He said, I am removing the superfluous buns.
I don't know.
Got thrown into jail for this conspiracy. Continue.
Okay. If a vegetarian eats vegetables, what does a humanitarian eat?
Ironically, probably vegetables.
There you go. That was really good. If I save time, when do I get it back?
I'm rechecking all of my life decisions right now.
I don't know. Which one do you think was the dumbest? Any idea?
Garbage can.
The garbage can. So I do have to tell you this is, there in my neighborhood, there are some people that have put on their garbage can this big poster, and it says, "Thank you, garbage guy." And I thought that was really cool of them to do that. Like, it's a big poster. They never took it off, so it's like on there every week when they put it out there. But it's still fun to see, you know?
And he's still being thanked.
Yes, so that was kind of cool. Okay, we'll be back in just a minute. Stay tuned.
There are so many things to do in Branson. You need help planning and booking all your fun. You need iBranson.com. You can find everything Branson has to offer from your computer, tablet, or cell phone. You can even buy tickets online or talk to one of their friendly Branson travel specialists. There's no sales pitches, no delivery fees, no service fees, and no waiting. It's fast and easy. Find your fun at iBranson.com. Do it all online or call 877-ENTERTAIN. That's 877-368-3782. iBranson.com.
Welcome back to Play Branson, and I'm so excited today because for the first time ever, we have Taylor Granberry here.
Hi.
And it's awesome to have you here, and you're with Dolly Stampede, the first time we've ever had anybody from Dolly Stampede on the show, so it's exciting for us.
It is very exciting for me as well. I'm really happy to be here and do this with y'all.
Yeah. And so you're the Master of Ceremonies there, and so we're going to talk all about the show and everything, but we like to always go way back.
Way back.
And so we want give us your history and how you got to this point.
Well, I started dancing at a very early age, 3 years old, and I loved it from the second my mom dropped me off, to say the least. I was that girl that wanted to go to dance every single week, and I definitely did not cry getting out of the car. I loved it, and I loved the stage. So that grew into my love for music, and then I started singing, I guess in high school. I really didn't know much about that because I had danced for so long. I was like, I'm a dancer. That was kind of my label. But then I learned more about music. I was in band, and I started singing. And my love for music just was over the top. So anytime anyone asked me what I wanted to do when I grew up, I was like, I'm gonna be famous. People are gonna know my name, which sounds kind of ridiculous, but I think everyone's version is a little different.
Yeah.
So
you have a great name, great stage name anyway.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Mom and Dad, for that. It's been such a ride, to say the least, but I started my professional career 5 years ago, and it started here in Branson at Dolly Parton Stampede, believe it or not.
Okay.
They hired me as just a dancer, and I walked in not knowing anything about horses, anything. And my boss at the time, he saw my my dance, whenever they taught it to us during the audition, he was like, okay, so you can kick your face, but can you ride a horse? And I was like, I just went, I'm from Texas. And that, because I was like, I'm not going to tell him I can't ride a horse. But
Good answer. Way to get. I'm from Texas, trumps a lot. So
yes.
But you had never ridden a horse at this point?
I had not.
Okay.
So yeah, it was definitely intimidating to say the very least, but they hired me about 2 hours later. They were like, can you be here in 30 minutes? Sure. So I had only been in Branson 3 days at that point, and I got hired on at one of the greatest companies in town. And I mean, I'm a little biased, but man, I couldn't change it for the world because it has been so good to me.
So you came to Branson wanting to get into this business. Is that right?
Yes.
And then 3 days later, you have a job.
Yes.
That's kind of unusual.
Very unusual. And my parents were a little wary, I think, of the whole decision, but I've grown up coming to Branson, seeing the shows, and like working with some of the entertainers I do now. I'm like, I saw you on stage when I was little, and I think that's the coolest thing in the world. And now they're some of my closest friends.
Yeah.
So I get to be a part of it, and I hope to continue to be a part of it for years to come. And it's so fun.
Now you just said something that I don't know that people would have gotten is you came here growing up, going to shows. So folks, this is a perfect example of Branson is not just a place where old people come to go to shows. And so you're a perfect example of that.
Thank you.
And so we're always trying to dispel the rumors out there that a variety of ages can come here and enjoy shows.
Yes, and with that, it's a great place to live and settle down. We were talking about Texas, and I love Texas, and it will always have a close place in my heart, but Branson has definitely become home over the past 5 years. I tried going back to Texas for a little bit, and I did a show there, which was a wonderful experience, but Branson just called me back home. Literally, I got the phone call to come and host Dolly Parton Stampede.
Wow.
So I see in here that you did, and maybe this is it, the Miss Rudy's Wild West Cabaret and Disney's Little Mermaid. So talk a little bit about those as well.
I did. When The Little Mermaid came to town in 2015, I made the decision to leave Dolly's, and my bosses were very supportive of it because they knew my background at the point. I still hadn't completely started writing in the show. I was still learning, and it was a little frustrating because it was very hard. And a lot of things, I'm like, I can sing and dance. Why was that not as hard as riding a horse?
Right.
But I know it sounds crazy, but yeah. So I did The Little Mermaid. Wonderful experience. Sad it ended the way it did, but the time spent there, I met some of my closest friends and some of the best entertainers I've ever worked with, hands down. And it was just such a fun experience and helped me grow as a performer and helped me realize oh, I can do other things. So after that, I actually got the call back to come back to Dolly's, and they're like, hey, we really want to put you writing in the show more, as well as dancing. I was like, that sounds good. I'll do that. That sounds like a great idea. It sounds fun. And it kind of just took me back to a place of comfort. And it was just one of those learning moments in life where never burn a bridge, even when you have to move on to another job to grow as a performer, because we all face that at some point, I feel like. But then I made the decision to leave Dolly's again at the end of 2016, which I had already worked part-time there and got hired on at Silver Dollar City.
Okay.
I worked there for their Christmas season. I'm kind of all over the place.
Yes, but that happens in this town.
It does, and that's the beauty of it. So you just keep good relationships the whole time, and you meet wonderful people, and you constantly feed off those people and the support they give you. So when I went to Dallas, I was with Miss Ruby's Wild West Cabaret at Six Flags. So much fun. I got to play some of the silliest characters I've ever played.
Okay.
And that was probably my biggest growing experience was at Miss Ruby's, to realize I have my own voice. I can change characters. I learned character development. But while I was there, I got the phone call. Hey, would you be interested in coming back? And I actually declined the offer at first, just to come back in general, because I didn't know the direction my life was supposed to go. So they're like, well, there's a new opportunity on the table.
Oh, here we go.
Yes, and it was a whirlwind of a day. I remember sitting there, it was actually my day off from the saloon at Six Flags, and I was like, I don't know, are you sure? That was my first question when they said, would you like to audition for Master of Ceremonies? We kind of feel like this might be a good fit for you. I had never heard of a girl doing it. I mean, there's been wonderful men that have hosted the show, and I'm like, how do I go up against these fabulous men who have this voice and this presence? So
By
like,
being Taylor Granberry.
I don't know. It definitely took a lot of work. It was about a 5-month audition process. I ended up moving back within 2 days of closing the saloon in Dallas, and moved here, immediately started my rehearsals with our creative director, and it just went from there.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history. So they signed me on officially in January of 2018. So this is my second year going as an official MC at Dolly. So it's a blessing, and I love every minute of it. So I'm always telling them the more shows, the better.
See, here's what I think's interesting is this is your third time working there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and so that doesn't happen a lot. So they had to see something in you that they really liked. I think, and like you said, you didn't burn the bridges.
No,
But
no.
I mean, that's really awesome.
It was an amazing thing, and like I said, I'm very, very blessed, and I know I'm very blessed to be in the position I am. So I never take advantage of it. Every day sitting in the door, like I always thank God, like thank you for this opportunity, because I could not do it without the support of my family, my friends, my bosses, the company. They saw something in me that I didn't even see, because like I said, I questioned it, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And
Well, I've seen you, and you do an excellent
Thank
job.
you. I appreciate
and
that.
we're gonna come back here in just a moment, and we're gonna talk more about Dolly Stampede.
Book now. Dolly Parton's Stampede.
The world's most visited dinner attraction. Don't miss it.
Hey folks, welcome back to Play Branson here. Today we are here with Taylor Granberry from Dolly's Stampede. I almost said Dixie, but I didn't.
So it is the 25-year anniversary at Dolly Stampede. So talk a little bit about the legacy that the Stampede has left, and also if they've never come to see the show, what can they expect?
Oh goodness. Well, expect the unexpected, first of all. That's probably the number one thing I hear. We came in expecting one thing, we left with a whole other idea of it. And we also like when people are like, we're gonna bring the rest of our family back, or we'll be back at Christmas. I've heard that a lot this year. But yes, our 25th year, our silver anniversary. So we're really excited about that. But we love the memories that people bring that they've had from 95. I actually was around town with one of our marketing ladies, and we were visiting a hotel where they do some of our advertising and stuff. And the lady told me, she was like, we were there the night y'all opened in 95. We saw Dolly because she came to our grand opening. And to hear that, like I've got chill bumps thinking about it right now. She told me that, and I was like, please tell me more. And she said, well, get this. She was like, that my son was, I think she said 5 years old. So she brought him back. She's already brought him back. And she was like, we plan on coming because we have to make it like a tradition now to come back. And she was like, do you think Dolly will be there again? I'm like, we're hoping Dolly will be here at some point this year.
Right.
But no, I think she kind of hangs out in Tennessee for the most part, but I don't blame her. That's home.
Yeah.
But that was just really cool to hear that, because this lady, she's been in town for that long, and that, she just, that's Branson all over again to me, and that's just the epitome of Branson. You come, and there's just something about it that Branson has its own heart.
Yes.
So if we go back like 25 years, like we pulled some stats here, and it's crazy how much has changed in 25 years. So eBay went live like 25 years ago, and if you remember the cell phones, they were like huge.
We were toddlers then.
Yeah. I had been in Branson a couple of years after college, so that was kind of the big boom of Branson, and so Toy Story came out. If you think about how many.
Now we feel old.
And, here's another one. The Macarena went viral. Like, it's hard to believe it's been that long.
That is crazy. There you go.
Postage stamps were 32 cents. In Starbucks, it says here, released the Frappuccino.
I didn't even know Starbucks was open
That's crazy. I felt like
me.
that was our generation that brought that about, but
I don't know. So, lots of things have happened. The other thing that happened here was that year the Showboat Branson Bell was launched. So lots of big attractions that came into town. And so for 25 years, you guys have been entertaining families. And it's not just entertaining, you've been feeding people too.
Yes. Oh, you get the full experience, and that's what we want people to leave with, is an experience that they've never had before. So that's been told to us many times. I mean, it's an experience working there. But yeah, we feed them a great meal. And I think the soup and biscuits is probably the crowd favorite. I know it's my favorite.
Yes.
I sneak upstairs and get cups of it all the time, but you get your own rotisserie chicken, the pork, the potato, the corn, you name it. And they'll usually, if you've got like a fun server, which all of them are fun, but if you've got a server that always has a little extra, they'll be sure you get a little extra, which I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But
Here's the Play Branson vacation tip. Okay, and I actually tell, every time I go there, I tell people this. You need to take your biscuit and dip it in the soup.
Yes.
I dip my chicken in the soup. I like dip my potato in the soup. I like dip everything
He dips his soup
in the soup because it's so good. And but here,
Coffee in the soup.
no, okay. I don't dip the corn in the soup though. No corn. So here's the question. Like I was there the other day for a special event, and there was a fork. And so is there really a fork coming to everybody, or was that special?
you know, I think, actually I visited another location of ours about a month ago, and when we had a couple days off, and they had a fork, and I came back, I was like, listen up guys, the game has changed.
Oh
they have forks and we don't. Their meal's a little different, but maybe 2 weeks ago, I was told like, hey, this is gonna be a new concept for us, and we know some people, I am guilty of it. I don't like eating with my hands all the time, but like for the experience, I'll do it.
Right.
But yeah, we brought in a fork, and we've kind of changed some of our rules during the supper time song. So we tell you how to use the fork, but it's okay to use your hands too.
That's right. That's
So
right.
yes, we still encourage both.
So for someone maybe that hasn't seen the show and they don't know really about the Master of Ceremonies, tell people kind of what you do in the show.
What I do in the show? Well, I think what people know most about the Master of Ceremonies so far is that I ride the big Frisian Nico. That he is his own entity, is his own spectacle. He's a beautiful Frisian horse. You can't miss him in the stables. But I am actually the first person you see once the main show starts. And so I greet everyone, I kind of give them directions on like, hey, this is when you're gonna cheer, this is who you're gonna cheer for, and then same with the other side. So I kind of just guide the show along, and luckily we've got a wonderful cast of people that just make it so easy to do that. I mean, the show's full of energy all the time. I try to bring in my own little version of energy, and again, since being a girl, it's a little different from the guy, so it kind of brings a new perspective. I don't know, from the luncheon the other day, I think maybe that was our first time, or my first time doing it for you, so maybe you've seen the guy do it before.
Oh yeah.
So it
yeah.
just brings kind of a different feel to it, but both MCs that we've got, I think we have a great time doing it. We both bring different things to the table, and yeah.
So you have this competition from the North and the South. And you have lots of power because you kind of determine the winner potentially at the end.
Yes.
And so, so here's my question: is when it's real close, are you like watching really close, or what's happening there?
I am, and it's so hard because you feel like the umpire for a second, and then you're always going to have one side that loves you and one side that hates you. No, they don't hate you, but at the end, we kind of let the audience decide the final because they're the ones that do the final event. They do the final flag pass, so it's on them. It's not even on us at that point. So it's in their hands, literally. But at the end of the show, we have our wonderful patriotic finale. I actually told my boss 5 years ago, if I don't do anything else in the show, this is the act I want to be in. So now and he's still, oh my gosh, it's the most beautiful act. I love the fact that we use Color Me America, Dolly's song. Beautiful song. I'm guilty of belting it out every once in a while. But it's such a great finale, and that's just to tell both sides, like, hey, we're coming together. This is what it's really about. We're not split. Like, there's no like this group and that group. We're all in this together, whether it's just life or a competition or anything else. We're in it together. So,
you know, you talked about the memories, and you know, people have grown up going to the show. But even for my family, like a lot of times we go at Christmas as a family tradition, and I think people have made this a tradition when they come to Branson. Like every year, whether it's in the summer, the fall, the spring, or at Christmas time. And so you guys have kind of a different show at Christmas time, and you Christmasize it. I don't know if that's a word. Maybe it's
I
probably
like
not
it.
a word.
I might use that.
Yeah, I don't know. And so you guys celebrate the real meaning of Christmas on the show. And so, man, I know we could just talk to you a lot more, but we're out of time. And folks, here's the deal. If you have not been to Dolly Stampede, go check it out. It's an awesome show, and it's not only a show, it is a complete meal. I guarantee you will get full, or if you're not full, you're just really hungry. And it's right on Highway 76 when you come into town. It's on the right-hand side there. You can't miss it. You also have a pre-show. We actually didn't get to, we didn't talk about that, but there's a pre-show there as well. And so go check them out. You can find them at dpstampede.com, or you can go to ibranson.com. We'll be back in just a minute. Hey folks, welcome back to Play Branson. Thanks so much today for watching. And great interview with Taylor. Awesome.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so,
I really want to see her as Master of Ceremonies.
yes, over
And
at
I
Dolly
need to get over and
Stampede.
see the show and have a fork with the meal,
Yes.
because that is groundbreaking.
So if you do not like to eat with your hands at Dolly Stampede, they are giving forks out, we think, pretty darn soon. So here's something else that's coming up. Like tomorrow night, I think it's the first time he's ever been in town, Howie Mandel will be out at the Welk Resort. So if you haven't got your tickets, it's not sold out, go check out Howie Mandel. You've seen him on lots of TV shows, whether it's Deal or No Deal or America's Got Talent. And so it'll be great to have him here in Branson. So welcome to Howie Mandel. And then next weekend, guess what do we have coming up?
Mother's Day.
That's right,
weekend.
Mother's Day.
So bring your mom, take her shopping, go to Tanger, go to the Landing. We also have Vicki Lawrence and Mama at Dick Clark's next
That's right.
weekend. So great weekend to come visit Branson.
And so you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your mother. So tell her thank you. And then the other thing is, as you plan your Branson vacation, be sure to go to ibranson.com. You can book your entire vacation there. Hotels, shows, attractions, the whole bit. It's really simple, really easy. Or you can call them at 877-ENTERTAIN and they can help plan your Branson vacation. And be sure to go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/playbranson. Like us, follow us. We launch a new episode every week here. And we thank you for watching. And be sure to tell us who you want to see next on Play Branson. And we'll see you next week.